Hey guys, let's take a look at my MacBook Pro with a swollen battery today. Can we breathe life into that thing again by swapping out the battery with easy tools from iFix and a good quality battery we can buy off the shelf and find on the internet? We're gonna find out after the intro. Let's roll it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's breathe back life into this 15-inch mid-end 2013 MacBook Pro of mine. It is a really nice device and it works perfectly fine. Just the battery is obviously very damaged and swollen over all these years of use. Even it is aging, it is a really great MacBook and it doesn't perform horribly. It is really fine for daily tasks. You can edit videos in Final Cut Pro 10. That is not an issue at all. So we have to fix the battery because for me, retiring this machine is not an option at this point, especially given the really great condition overall. For replacing the battery, we need basically two things. A good toolkit, and I'm using the one here from iFix, plus a really good battery. In a perfect case, you get an OEM battery from Apple, but in most cases it's perfectly fine if you use a different supplier for your battery, as long as you make sure it's coming from a credible source, providing a good quality. All screwdrivers and torque drivers you need to disassemble your MacBook for replacing the battery should come in the set. The batteries of MacBooks are held in place by double-sided, quite strong tape. And to loosen that up, we're using this orange oil to let it run under the batteries. Here we can see how much the batteries were swelling and pushing and bending the bottom of the case a little bit, bumping it out. The very right cells in this case were damaged, actually the worst, and really swollen. The ones behind the trackpad, not as bad. That was the reason why the trackpad was still usable. Some people experience even swollen batteries that render the trackpad completely unusable. The debris building up on the inside of the fans we dust off later and clean up the entire inside of this MacBook before reassembling it. The official steps described by iFix were quite complex and required to disassemble this MacBook even further. We are not doing that because disassembling it further would put us at risk damaging transistors or the logic board. So what we are doing here is tilting it, that the oil is running behind the battery and that we can get it out by just then gently scraping the bottom of the batteries off with the plastic device coming in the iFix kit. The most sensitive part here is the trackpad in the middle, where we have to be careful not to run oil in or to just push it too much, since that could damage that trackpad and that would be an expensive repair. and here the battery comes out. Before you're starting that process, make sure that the battery is discharged to a minimum, because a discharged empty battery is a much lower risk in case you're damaging it than a fully charged battery. Now, after we have the battery out, we can really see how bad the condition of the battery really is and how necessary the replacement was. And to compare, this is how a healthy brand new battery looks like. Now, before putting the new battery into the case, we have to clean up, getting rid of all the oil and the remaining tape of the old battery. And then we are dusting off the fans of the MacBook and also washing off the rear shell, which we can do with just some soap water because there's no electronics attached to that and there's no problem by just washing it off. And here we are with the clean inside. We remove the oil and the tape from the previous battery. Just we have to be careful with the area of the trackpad itself to not damage that one. Then dusting off the fans and washing off the rear shell. So we are all good now to reassemble everything. The new battery is holding together by that plastic shield during transport. Removing that now carefully, not ripping the battery connectors apart. Then aligning it, tacking it gently under the metal brackets, aligning all the holes to the main board and then screwing it back in. After doing that, reattaching the battery connector to the main board and we are all set. Now we close it up, attaching the rear shell to the MacBook, and by tightening the screws, use the screws on the opposite side of the case and do it in turns that you apply stress by tightening the screws evenly over the entire back shell. Done. Now the big question, does it turn on? Did we damage something in the process or is everything fine? Let's take a look again how much it was wobbling before with a swollen battery. And now after reassembling with the new one, it is sitting really nice and flat on the stone counter. Wow, that sounds really good. And here it is, we have a living MacBook. Really nice that we don't have time pressure to replace it now, because I'm waiting for the new MacBooks with the M1X or the M2. But when they're coming around, we do not know yet, and it will be a bit time from now to then. We have to bridge, and we just did that by replacing the battery. Also, the resale value is still there, so if you want to sell your MacBook, it is good to replace the battery before you do that. The new MacBook refresh with the new M chips will come eventually, and they will come soon to this channel. So stay subscribed, like this video, that is very much appreciated. And as always guys, thanks for watching, have a great rest of the day, stay safe, and see you in the next one.